What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my first impression and the stat speculation of the units from the new Fallen banner that we're going to be getting on 8th of May. And the first thing that we have is Male Corrin. So we did get Fallen Female Corrin last year, and this time we got the male version. So he's a blue infantry dragon, and that is not all that good compared to female Fallen Corrin because colorless is just much better for having no weapon triangle disadvantage except against Raven Tomes. Blue color does give you better matchup against Falchions and all of those red dragon slayers, but you absolutely get shredded by stuff like Thracier, Deidre, and green Julia. In your neutral matchups as it is, you have to face legendary Julia, Brave Lucina, Naga, and stuff like that. So his weapon is Brutal Breath. It gives him +3 attack, and he can get as much as +5 to all of his stats if no allies are present within 2 spaces of him. It's pretty similar to Savage Breath that female Corrin has got, but instead of having max stats of +6 from this effect, he can only get up to +5. And in exchange of that, he basically gets the conditional guard effect where if the number of allies within 2 spaces is 1 or less than 1, then he can have the guard status. So this is really useful for tanking and stuff. But the thing is that, as I said, blue color isn't really all that good compared to the colorless female Fallen Corrin. And the guard status really doesn't help him against infantry pulse teams and something like ether raids, and Glimmer is a special with attack speed solo 4. So we already have tier 4 solo skills, and these are pretty tame actually. These are definitely one of the more underwhelming tier 4 skills because the value compared to the tier 3 version isn't really there. So the best thing out of the skill is the fact that it's a 300 SP skill, so it's gonna be useful to you in modes like Arena and those kinds of Colosseum modes. All you get is +1 attack and speed compared to the tier 3 version of the skill, so unless you really care about Arena and those kinds of scoring game modes, attack speed solo 3 is still just, alright, and you don't really have to go out of your way to get this. His slot B skill is Null Follow Up, which is going to be pretty nice because he can get extremely fast, and a lot of times, female Fallen Corrin does run Null Follow Up for that same reason. His slot C skill is Rouse Speed Defense, which does have good synergy with his weapon and everything. So overall I feel like female Fallen Corrin is still going to be better, but it's going to be interesting to see how he turns out to be and how they make him different stat wise compared to the female Fallen Corrin. So here I've tried to speculate his stats, and I think that he is going to be having around like 37 base attack based on this interaction against this red mage, and it's really hard to tell the other stats from this interaction, but as we have seen before with Adrift male and female Corrin, I think they're just going to be giving him less speed for giving him more defense, and he does get +3 speed from his weapon, so I guess they could reduce the speed stat for giving him more defense. I feel like he's definitely going to be having more attack than Fallen Female Corrin, and 173 BST would be the one which I would expect, but I'm not really too sure if they're going to be power creeping him with the score, because at the time when Fallen Female Corrin came out, she was basically like a trainee unit, I believe, with 173 BST. Like, it wasn't normal for infantry units to have that kind of BST at that time. So he could be having more BST than that, but I don't really know. This is just my speculation. And the next thing that we have is Fallen Lyon, and oh man, I really wanted him in this game, and I'm just so happy. So he's a green infantry mage, and he is gonna be an anti-meta king because of his weapon. It's really ridiculous how good his weapon is. So here, he's gonna get attacked by legendary Alm, and he has got Blood Tome as his weapon, so it gives him +3 attack. And if the foe is a range unit, then basically he gets 80 damage reduction on any kind of area and effect special from them, and he also reduces the damage in the combat by 50%. So this is a permanent damage reduction against range units, and also he has got Raven Tome effect built into it. So this is a Raven Tome that can reduce AoE specials damage by 80% and reduce the normal damage in combat by 50% against range units. So that makes him a really good anti-meta unit, because against Bramimond, Legendary Leaf, Legendary Crom, Legendary Lucina, Legendary Alm, and all of those archers, like, he's able to perform really good and just take them on and not really care about anything. The damage reduction does help him tank them really well. His special is Soul, which is actually a good thing because he already does have really good attack, I think. a lot of these teams will have similar units like this in Arena, Arena Assault, or even in Ether Raid, so keeping him healthy is definitely going to be nice. Bonus Doubler is definitely a really good slotted skill and perfect one for facing ranged units. I guess System Defense 4 could have been put on him, but Bonus Doubler is also really nice. Null Counter Disrupt is a slot B skill, and after Nyla, he's the second unit to get this skill. Null Counter Disrupt makes his matchups even better because against Dazzling Staff units, he can just absolutely shred them because he already gets the damage reduction. He has got the Raven Tomb effect, so as it is, they're not really going to be doing any kind of damage to him, and he can counterattack back, just invalidating their Dazzling Staff effect and just taking them out. So this is really good. And then at last, he's got Rouse Attack Resistance. So yeah, Lyon is just a very powerful anti-meta unit. You could definitely use him for your counter picks. Like in Ether Raids, if you face a team which just has a lot of dagger units, Bramimond, Legendary Arm, Legendary Leaf, Reinhardt, and stuff like that, then you can just eat them alive. Even Ophelia actually, because of the AoE damage reduction. So really good unit for Arena Assault purpose, and also for Ether Raids in general. A fantastic counter pick unit. Now before I show my stat speculation to you guys, I want to explain my reasoning to you, because if I do not do that, then I'm gonna get bullied in the comments and I'm gonna feel really sad. But yeah, I want you to pay attention to a few things here. First of all, Legendary Alm has got a special ready, and Legendary Alm is a known unit. We can tell what his stats are, so we can calculate the attack of Lyon based on the damage he does to Alm. We can also calculate the defense which Lyon has got. Interestingly enough, in the English trailer, he's facing Legendary Alm, and in the Japanese trailer, right here, he's actually facing a Ophelia who has got an AoE special. Now right over here, I want you to pay attention to a few things. First of all, these three mages get some kind of buff, and it's not a tactic buff because Reinhardt is there, and there's no way Lilina can buff up Sonya from 2 spaces, so Ophelia definitely has some kind of wave skill or sacred seal. And Peony gets a debuff. This debuff can be from Sonya's Res Ploy, but we also cannot forget the fact that Ophelia comes with chill resistance on her base kit. Peony has got 27 resistance, so chill resistance being directed towards Peony means that Lyon doesn't have that much resistance, and he definitely has less resistance than Peony, definitely less than 27. Otherwise, he would have got hit by the chill resistance. Now, my assumption basically works in the fact that Ophelia has got chill resistance, because if it doesn't, then my speculation is right. So either my speculation is on point or just completely wrong. And here we can see that Lilina does not have her forward place tome. She still has Bolganon, and this means that, you know, Ophelia's chill resistance is really important if she has got that or not. This Ophelia is a bit weird. She's got 42 HP. Normal Ophelia at Unmerged has got 38 HP. So the only way she can have 42 HP is when she's +1 merge with plus HP IV, which is not optimal and super weird, or if she's a +10 merge Ophelia, and that is way more likely because she could be plus attack IV. So this Ophelia is definitely quite weird. In the English trailer, the Alm is completely unmerged, and all of these other mages on this team are unmerged as well, and there is no way they can get extra HP because there are no mythic units here, and forward advantage or disadvantage doesn't really give you HP, it just gives you stats, not HP. So I want you to keep those things in mind. Now, there could be the fact that she does not have chill resistance and Peony is just getting affected by Res Ploy, but that's weird because Ophelia, like, having chill resistance is way more optimal on Ophelia in Ether Raids compared to Special Spiral, and like chill resistance is her default skill, so I wouldn't imagine why she doesn't have this. So I'm not going to be boring you with the math. So here, Ophelia does 10 damage to Lyon. Keep in mind, Lyon's weapon has 80% damage reduction on AoE specials, and then she does 11 times 2 to Lyon. So we can use this to calculate the attack of Lyon. Obviously, we have 2 interactions now because we have the Legendary Alm one and this one, and we can also calculate his speed because he's getting doubled by this Ophelia. So this is the stat spread I'm expecting on him. He's definitely having 40 attack. That's pretty much confirmed based on these 2 interactions. His defense is also pretty much confirmed based on the like damage Alm does to him. As for his resistance, as I said, I think he's gonna be having less than 27 resistance, and here if you just go back a bit, we can see that he is being buffed by his Rouse skill, and his bonus doubler is also active. So he just has 21 resistance. Yeah, that's the thing, if my speculation is correct. So the calculations I've done with my friend Adam, we basically came to the point where like this Ophelia was throwing us on a loop because of her weird HP, and like 21 resistance makes sense on him with his Rouse skill active. So this could be really disappointing to some people that he doesn't have that much resistance. But I could be wrong again, and he might just be really min-max and has high resistance. So we'll have to see, but I tried my best with the calculation and all of the things I could like point out and figure out from this trailer. So the animation is really cool because because Formortis just punches the enemy, which I find so funny. It's such an amazing animation. Fallen Leon is the king, man. So really good anti-meta unit in general, regardless of his stats. Like, we know that he does have really high attack, and having high attack is really good because you one-shot these kinds of units and you don't really allow them to double you and take you out. So I really value the high attack on him, honestly. So the next unit we have is Fallen Julia. She's a red infantry mage. We have got a blue Julia now, a red Julia, and a green Julia, the old one. So she has got Dark Scripture as her weapon, which gives her +3 attack. And if unit is not adjacent to an ally, it inflicts -6 attack and resistance debuff on the foe during the combat. And if the foe doesn't have any kind of effective against dragon effect, then she makes a guaranteed double. So this Julia has nothing to do with dragon slaying, which does make sense because this is the Fallen Julia, and she wants to, you know, avoid any kind of confrontation from units who have got effective against dragon weapons. And majority of the units don't really have this kind of weapon, so against them, like, she could auto double. But there's the argument to be made that Naga is there who can provide the Divine Fang support, and that can just stop Julia from doubling that unit who has the Divine Fang support. So that does make sense, but in general, this is a pretty good effect. The auto double is really nice because she's going to be super slow, and Legendary Julia can struggle with doubling, so this Julia doesn't really have that kind of problem against a lot of units. And the -6 attack and resistance debuff is actually pretty insane. It's the same thing we have on Kyria, and we know how bulky and terrifying she is. So, like, this makes Julia incredibly bulky and lets her hit super hard. Iceberg is her special, attack res solo, same deal as Male Corrin and Light and Dark, which Legendary Julia has got. So it's a Spectrum Lull effect, which is super good because she doesn't care about any of your buffs, and she also gets in-combat debuff on the foe, which does stack up with the Dark Scripture in-combat debuff and also the visible debuff she could get with Panic Smoke. So overall, a pretty synergetic base kit. Here she's going to be attacking with Iceberg, and she's going to be doing quite a bit of damage, 23 damage to be exact, with Iceberg. So we can use this to calculate her resistance and overall her stats. So this is my stat speculation on her. I think she's going to be having 39 HP, 39 attack, and 39 resistance. And same defense as Legendary Julia, and she is going to be having a bit lower speed than the Legendary Julia because she can have the auto double in her weapon, so this speed can actually go pretty lower than this, I feel like. So overall, just a very powerful and scary looking unit. And then we have got Fallen Ike as the final unit. So this is Berserk Ike after he has touched Leiron's medallion. It's inspired from the Cypher art. So does this mean that Volk is going to be soon in the game to to finish his contract? That's going to be some nice lore actually if they do that, but I'm not sure if they care enough. So Fallen Ike has got Chaos Ragnall. It has got Distant Counter built into it, and it grants bonus to his individual stats based on the penalty on those set stats multiplied by 2. So it says in bracket that, example, if he has got -7 attack penalty, it grants him +14 attack for a net bonus of +7 attack. Now do not get confused by that. Basically what they mean is that he is getting +14 attack, but the chill attack debuff is still there, so you have to subtract 7 from that, and he ends up with extra 7 attack because of that debuff. So in a way, it offsets the debuffs and makes him stronger in those specific stats. But yeah, this is a pretty decent effect actually, does make him really powerful. I wish that the normal Ragnall could just get the weapon refined, man, at this point. These distant counter weapons are suffering. So he's got Mayhem Ether, which is just like Radiant Ether with a different name. Darting Breath, because keep in mind, Ike and Tiki are the only units who can breathe. No other unit can breathe. And Darting Breath honestly is a pretty decent skill compared to something like Fierce Breath because Darting Breath does help you with Repel 3 Close Call, and Speed is basically going to be helping you in survival in many matchups because you can deny the doubles. So you can run Darting Breath and have something like Steady Posture Sacred Seal or Swift Stance Sacred Seal to get a bit more of his speed and also some bulk. And then he's got Repel 3, so that's just the indication that this is going to be a fast Ike. And he's got Attack Speed Oath, not a Rouse skill, so that is interesting. So I've calculated the stats of this Ike as well. This Ike is going to be basically power creeping Legendary Ike extremely hard. And he's just better than Legendary Ike in every way because he has got another effect on his Ragnall. He still has the Radiant Ether. He's going to be having more BST. He can be blessed for any season to be used in Ether raids or just Arena in general. So this is the stat spread I'm expecting on Ike. Here he does the Radiant Ether. So this actually helps me calculate the attack of him because we can tell that this mage has got 20 defense. We can actually see the speed stat. Like we can try to calculate his speed stat based on the damage he takes from this mage because this mage is supposed to do 17 damage, but the damage reduction from Repel makes him do 11 damage. So 6 points of less damage, which is like 36 damage reduction from Repel, which means that Ike must have 41 speed in the combat. So after we subtract the Darting Breath effect, he ends up at 37 speed. I don't think his Oath skill is active in this trailer. 35 defense and 21 resistance, which is reminiscent of Legendary Ike. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be having very high resistance. It's just going to be focused on his speed stat. So, like, there has been a lot of competition for Legendary Ike, but this is like a straight up power creep by the same character. So, yeah, that is going to be the Fallen Banner. I'm actually really excited for this. Lyon is definitely going to be my main focus right here. And we also get a Grandeur Battle unit on Saturday, I believe, in Ashnard. So, Ashnard is going to be a Sword Flyer most likely. And he's likely going to be having his legendary weapon, Gurgurant, which is a sword. So I expect him to be a sword flyer. And I know the whole thing with male flyers getting shafted as free units, but so far, like the fallen heroes that we have got for free, like Fallen Delthea, Fallen Takumi, have been pretty decent, and they do have preferred weapons, so at least they have a chance of standing out. And sword flyer isn't really all that saturated class type, so he definitely has quite a bit of chance of being a really good unit. In Path of Radiance, Gurgurant basically negates, non-wrath criticals, and it's like the heaviest weapon, I believe. So I expect Ashnard to be like a slow, extremely high attack and high defense sword flyer. So let me know about your expectations out of this Fallen Banner, and how do you like these characters, and what do you think of my stat speculation. I want to thank all of my YouTube members for the support, and if you enjoyed this video, then please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Helps me tremendously, and share this video with your friends who are excited for this banner. And subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as my sanity will be if they butcher Ashnard. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.